What's up, YouTube? It's Dave here with House of a Thousand Collectibles, and it's that time again. Monster Mania 49 recap video. This con was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It took place Friday, March 11th, 2022 to Sunday, March 13th, 2022. When we had the 1 day pass, it was for Saturday. You see up on the screen now is the actual pamphlet that they gave out. I always grab a couple of those so you can see the artwork and the times of the different things that are going on while you're there. But it's pretty cool artwork on there. As far as the show goes, kind of the Monster Mania norm. Very, very crowded. I always say oversold because it's just, there was never like this before on sold out shows. Now the show sells out and it's shoulder to shoulder. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hour lines for some of the huge people. And I mean, I get that they draw that line, but in a convention center or something like that, they have no problem holding lines like that and way more people. But when you're in a small hotel that you outgrew 10 years ago, it becomes sort of an issue. The staff, it's all new people. It's not none of the like guys that have been around for a while. I don't think any of them are left. They're kind of rude in a way, and like they just don't have a clue. So if you go to them and ask questions, they don't know. They won't just say, "Hey, I don't know. Let me go find out." They'll tell you wrong information. I was told like certain guests weren't coming, that they canceled. Next thing you know, they were there. They were just running late or not out yet. So all those like problems. When the show opens, you know, you're already out there in line. The guests are supposed to be down from this time to this time. They don't come down until lunchtime, damn near like 2 hours late. Some people come down 30 minutes late. So that kind of, you know, creates issues or kind of sucks when you're just out there wasting your time basically, and you could be getting other people. You're waiting for them just to actually come down to the show. The long lines were getting longer and longer. The walk right up to a table, straight to the person, no lines kind of don't exist anymore. Even like the smaller people still have, you know, like a decent 10, 15, 20 people in line. The vendor rooms get crowded and hot and sweaty in there, and you get locked into where you can't even move for a few minutes because people are stopping and looking, and instead of clearing out the aisle, just so crowded in there. Positives, the guests that were there that I did meet were all amazing guests. The prices are still going through the roof, but they're still a decent guests. The vendors are all awesome and have really good items. Like I said, it's just packed in there. That's uncontrollable. So that's pretty much it. It's the same kind of vibe as always with Monster Mania, or at least here recently. So we'll get right into the guests that I did meet. All right, so first up is Ray Santiago from Ash vs. Evil Dead. He was a really nice guy, funny. I call him Smiley. He's always got a smile on his face. He was really humble and talkative, just all around awesome meet. Really blew me away. He signed my poster, wrote the quote. I think he wrote the quote. I wonder. He might have added a little extra to it, which is always awesome. So, you know, if you get a chance to, try to meet Ray Santiago. Next up is another Ash vs. Evil Dead. It is Dana De Lorenzo. She was super nice, very funny. She'll take several photos with you. Like, she wants to do like one real one and kind of one funny one. We did middle fingers. She was cussing, like she's not shy at all, like just really down to earth, cool person. Like, guarantee she's like the life of the party. All right, next up we have the Dexter reunion. This was super big for me. So glad. I've been wanting Dexter people for a while, and this guy has canceled on me a few times, but finally get to meet him. James Remar. I got him to sign 2 different posters, Dexter and Girl Next Door. His voice, I mean, he's Dexter's dad. It sounds just like him. Like, that's exactly his voice. He was really nice. He really enjoyed the Girl Next Door poster and quote that I had picked out. He probably, you know, signs a lot of Dexter stuff and Warriors and some other things. So the Girl Next Door probably doesn't get hit with as much. So he really appreciated that one. But all around, great meet. Next up, David Zayas. He played Batista on Dexter. He wasn't very talkative. You know, he's kind of like the quiet type, the big quiet type. But he's still pretty nice. He, you know, smiled, laughed. You know, he's got like that swag to him, if that's what you want to call it. But, you know, that Spanish kind of vibe. He's just all around cool guy. I enjoyed meeting him, even though like he wasn't very talkative. Next up, C.S. Lee. He played Masuka from Dexter. I was wondering how he would be because he was such like a crazy character. Just says shit off the top of his mouth, no holding back, no filters. And he was pretty much that guy too. He's really funny. Exactly what I'd expect from meeting actual Masuka if he was a real person, but he is. It's C.S. Lee. He really he changed the quote that I wanted to sign, but he ended up writing an even cooler one. You'll see it in the photos. So really awesome. C.S. Lee was really nice to meet. All right, one of the favorite Dexter ones, which was a surprise, which was Eric King. Surprise, motherfucker. That guy. He was just a really amazing, nice guy. He was really funny. He was He's another one I call Smiley. And I could just talking to him and, you know, the way he carried himself, I could just tell, like, he's a really humble, genuine, nice person. But Eric King, if you get a chance to meet him, I really highly suggest that one. And the last of the Dexter meets was Dexter himself. They had him in his own room upstairs. You know, he kind of had, like, they did this awesome thing with tickets, so you didn't have to stand in a 9-hour long line to meet him. You would just kind of, they would announce when they're going to take ticket numbers, blah, 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 to blah, 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 and you would go to the desk, and then they would walk you up little groups at a time. I wish they do that for all, but literally the very next con, they stopped. They weren't doing those for even larger guests, so I don't know why that is, because I thought it ran so smoothly. But we finally get in the line for him, and I can hear him like talking and meeting like the people that are up at his table. I'm maybe 10, 15 people back, and I'm like, holy shit, like that's Dexter. That's the exact voice. It literally like almost gives you chills like hearing it, because it's like, holy crap, it's spot on. He didn't add anything or change his voice at all. That's his voice. But it was ran like a chow hall. And I've explained that before, but it's kind of like, you know, remember like high school lunch, you stand there with your tray and they just slap stuff on top of it. Well, you hand the stuff to the agent. He gives it to Michael C. Hall. He signs it, hands it back to you, and you walk off. There's no real talking too much. You sneak a little bit in there. He did talk to my girlfriend a little bit about how she wanted her poster signed and if she cared what color, and that at least got something, a conversation sparked there. And then with me, I just mentioned maybe a lost opportunity, and I was like, man, you don't have any of your CDs out here to sign or to buy? And he's like, oh yeah, like that's a good idea, like I should have had that, because if you don't know, he's a singer in like a punk rock band. So it was pretty cool to talk to him about that, even though, like I said, it was really quick. We also did a pro photo op with him. It was the only way you could take a photo with him. So that's how they always get me on the pro photos. Other than that, I boycott them and avoid them at all costs. But he was at least nice enough during those to like say hi to you and thank you real quick. So it was a couple seconds extra with him. But I'll take all the time I can get with Michael C. Hall. All right, so that is it for Monster Mania 49. Again, the recap, overcrowded and oversold. I'll still only continue to only go for one of the days unless they put together a really awesome show. But other than that, it's really not needed. I can get everybody that I want in the one day. Skip the people that have 9-hour long lines, because that's insane and no one's worth that. And by the money I save by not going on the other days and wasting my time, I go to other conventions, so it pays for itself. And the other conventions seem to be putting the better guest list together and not bringing back so many repeats, like time and time again. Robert Englund, Kane Hodder, Danielle Harris, Tony Todd. Like, it's just, they've been doing that for 10, 15 years, so I'll continue to go elsewhere until they get back to their roots. So cons are still going great. I mean, COVID's almost over, but you still run into here and there. You catch a plexiglass blockade, or you see somebody that won't take a mask down. But for the most part, we're almost back to regular conventions prior to COVID. So that's always a good thing. So I still recommend going to conventions. Just like I said, try them out, spread out. Don't just keep going to the same one. I did that for way too many years, and now I'm starting to branch off and really enjoying conventions again. So that's it, guys. Until the next one. Peace.